secure because of your love. Life is filled with meaning. It's gonna be a brighter day, brighter day, a brighter day, brighter day, a 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 brighter day, a brighter day, 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 brighter day. I never knew I could be so happy, and I never knew I'd be so secure because of your love. Life is filled with meaning. It's gonna be a brighter day, a brighter day.
Thank you so much. Brian Harris and the New Thought Messengers. Hello. Oh, it's so good to be in community. It's so good to be with all of you this day. Welcome, those of you here in person. Welcome to those of you watching us online. I want to let you know, practitioner and ministerial intern Shelley Walker texted me this morning. She is in California and she sends all her love. It reminded me how wonderful it is that we're all, wherever you are, in the world, we can be together in this community, and it's such a gift. It's such a blessing. If you are new or newish here, I am Shannon O'Hurley. My pronouns are she, her. I get to be the senior minister here at the New Thought Center for Spiritual Living, and it is just such a gift, the greatest gift for me. I want to let you know that if you are joining us for the first time, or maybe you've been watching us online, it's your first time here, or maybe it's your second or third time here, you're dipping your toe in. We have all kinds of information for you. We have a welcome table right here in the lobby. If you're here in person, those of you online, feel free to go on our website, newthoughtcsl.org. Everything we're doing, and we're doing a lot, is there for you. And just know that exactly how you are, who you are, the place you're in right now, you are so welcome in this safe and nurturing space. Please know that we have created this space just for you exactly as you are. So I say welcome. So glad you're here in this spiritual community. We are inclusive, progressive, and compassionate. It's who we are. We live our values out into the world. We're going to be talking a lot about that in the next couple of weeks, and how we do that as a spiritual community from a place of love. Speaking of love, every week we want to take a moment and honor that here in Lake Oswego, we are on the ancestral land of the Kalapuya people, and we affirm Indigenous history, experiences, and sovereignty. We also share with one voice our vision and our mission every week, so that anchors us in our why and why we are here. So let's do that together with one voice as you are comfortable. And those of you at home, please join us. Our vision: recognizing our oneness, we envision a world that works for everyone and all creation. And our mission: providing spiritual tools for personal and global transformation. Those of you at home, I want to invite you now, if you have one handy, to grab a candle and something to light it with. Also, please grab a piece of paper and a pen for something we're going to do a little bit later. That would be fantastic. I also want to let you know, those of you who are here in person, Jen let me know, thank you so much, sweetheart, that someone with has their lights on who has a blue Hyundai. If you have a blue Hyundai in the back parking lot, your lights are on, please go get that. That's our beloved Shayla, who's running our cameras. We got this covered. Oh, I'm glad we announced that. Thank you, Jen, and thank you, Shayla. Thank you, Mary, for hopping on the cameras real quick while Shayla takes care of that. Wonderful. Speaking of cameras, let's take a quick moment, if you're all set up, if I'm not rushing things. It's just us, it's fine. I would love it if you all here would just turn around and wave to our beloveds who are watching us from just all over the country, the world. They are here with us in spirit and in love, and we're just so grateful, so grateful. So grateful. I want to acknowledge that our online hosts today are practitioners Annette Nelson and Beth Doyle, and they just make the online experience so wonderful for those who are watching online. I want to thank them. I also want to let you know that this flower arrangement right here is actually from the NTCSL staff. We had our staff meeting on Tuesday, as we do every week, and we decided with the week that by Tuesday we'd already had, and I will get to more of that in a moment, all with love. We wanted to bring even more beauty into this space, to remind us of the spiritual truth, of the beauty and the grace and the love and the joy that despite everything are here. So these flowers really are in honor of all of us making the decision to be here together in this grace and in this love. I want to also remind those of you here in the room and also those of you online and those of you who may be watching later in the week, please take a moment and silence your cell phones if you would. I know some of you take notes on your phones, that's great, but just turn that ringer off if you would or silent it. That would be fantastic. So now I'm going to invite our beloved practitioner, Doug Allen, up for our opening blessing.
Let's take a moment and relax our bodies. Take a breath. Close our eyes or gaze them gently down. And recognize that right here where we are, God is, love is, Spirit is. It's all that Spirit has for us, supporting us. That whatever we might be experiencing in any moment, whatever we might be seeing in the outer world, whatever might be causing concern or worries, that we can turn to the truth of Spirit, which is the bedrock of our support. It is unconditional love. We are all here with a purpose to be love in the world. I'm grateful for all the activity of the divine, all the activity of love that is taking place this day. I'm grateful for all the things that are going on in front of and behind the scenes that make this all possible. From the greeters and our hospitality team, our office team, those working with our youth and families. That's the activity of the divine. I'm grateful for our practitioners who are here in person and online to pray with you. I'm grateful for our music ministry, for our vocalists and our musicians. And I'm grateful for the leadership of Rev Shannon and the message that Spirit will be delivering through her today. I'm grateful for all of this, and so much more. And so it is. And now it's time for our spiritual practice. For those of you at home, feel free to grab a candle and light it. Please stand as you're able and join us in our practice, prayer set to music. All love, all love, all love, holy, holy. All love, holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. Let me know all is
and so it is.
Good morning. The following is a multi-faith prayer written this past Monday, January 20th, 2025, by writer and activist Adrienne Marie Brown. It's called, "It is Our Turn to Carry the World." We are each other's safety right now and every day. Decide who you will protect, yourself, your own, and who else. It's time to cover all that we love, land, creature, place, person. Intertwine your roots with mine in a way that our lives become miracles. There will be strangers. They will become comrades. We will each say our needs. We will learn to let community come closer. Every part of us is a shield. Our words, our trust, our hearts, our bodies in action, and the freedom to think for ourselves. We are the adaptation no oppressor can imagine. Our love is water, form-shifting power, river, vapor, life. We flood each other with belonging. We are building our stamina. We dream of the real world. We carry God and see God in each of our faces. Our holiness is not too heavy. Not for me. Our attention and courage show us the next stand to take, the next hill on which to hold each other, and if needed, the next hiding place. Survive. Our imagination and memory find the wisdom of our ancestors, find our future in the rubble, find the seeds in our songs. We choose our freedom. We keep each other's soul intact, safer than any cage of empire. We know something better is coming. We're in each other's safety. We see each other's freest self. We will hold on tight, in public, in private, over and underground. And we will never let go. 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 And so it is. Amen. Blessed be.
Thank you, Helen. Now let's welcome Darcy Bradley. I don't know. Darcy Bradley.
All the times you thought you'd never make it through, felt just like the world just turned its back on you. Didn't stop you. Times you could have given in and given up. Times you didn't know if you were strong enough. Still you got through. Somehow it's all part of the plan. The journey, the journey, the journey. Well, it's the journey, it's the getting there to where you're going to. Going through hell, but still you're gonna make it through. It's the fire that they can't put out inside. It's a hell of a ride. All the times they thought that they could hold you back, but you've always known there was no chance of that. You're made too strong, and when you're going with your heart, you can go further than you ever thought possible. Prove them all wrong. It's all part of a bigger plan. The journey, the journey. journey, the journey. Oh, it's a journey. It's the getting there to where you're going to. Going through hell, but still you're gonna make it through. It's the fire that they can't put out inside. It's the hell of a ride. It's the journey. It's the getting there to where you're going to. Going through hell, but still you're gonna make it through. Yeah, it's the fire that they can't put out inside. It's a hell of a ride. It's the journey. Oh, it's the journey. Thank you.
Oh. Thank you, Darcy Bradley. You just took us all on a journey. Oh, thank you. Thank you, dear heart. We are all clearly on a journey. Yes? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So, my talk today is called How to Speak Loving Truth to Power and Live Our Inclusive Faith. From the Washington Cathedral at the presidential inaugural prayer service on January 21st, 2025 of this week, looking directly at him, Bishop Marian Edgar Buddy said this: "Let me make one final plea, Mr. President. Millions have put their trust in you. As you told the nation yesterday, you have felt the providential hand of a loving God. In the name of our God, I ask you to have mercy upon the people in our country who are scared now. There are transgender children in Democratic, Republican, and independent families who fear for their lives. And the people who pick our crops and clean our office buildings, who labor in our poultry farms and meat packing plants, who wash the dishes after we eat in restaurants and work the night shift in hospitals. They may not be citizens or have proper documentation, but the vast majority of immigrants are not criminals. They pay taxes and are good neighbors. They are faithful members of our churches, mosques, and synagogues, gurdwara, and temples. Have mercy, Mr. President, on those in our communities whose children fear that their parents will be taken away. Help those who are fleeing war zones and persecution in their own lands to find compassion and welcome here. Our God teaches us that we are to be merciful to the stranger, for we were once strangers in this land. May God grant us all the strength and courage to honor the dignity of every human being, speak the truth in love, and walk humbly with one another and our God for the good of all people of this nation and of the world." Thank you, Bishop Marian Edgar Buddy. Later, a journalist was interviewing her and said something to the effect of, to her, "Bishop Buddy, I know you're very used to speaking publicly, and you probably weren't nervous at all, but what was it like to speak that level of truth to power? What was it like to say those words directly to the president and vice president?" And she humbly responded that she's always nervous before she steps into a pulpit because it is such a huge responsibility. I guarantee you every clergy member around the world who heard that went, "Yes." And then essentially she shared that she just couldn't not speak the truth in that moment. And I think there's something in this for all of us. I mean, the courage that it took her to do that. I immediately bought her book, which I highly recommend, by the way. It's called How We Learn to Be Brave, Decisive Moments in Life and Faith. And from the beginning, as I was reading it anyway, I got the sense that she's more soft-spoken. And she's clear, but she's also contemplative. And in reading her book, I recognized even more how brave it was for her to do what she did. She's not like a naturally super outgoing person. I would bet $1,000 she's a straight up introvert, no question about it. I can relate. It felt to me, when she gave that message, that she set the tone for how we can all do this moving forward. She set an incredible tone, and if you haven't yet seen that video, I invite you to Google it. Bishop Buddy single-handedly taught our nation and the world, it went viral, the power and grace of what it looks like to speak loving truth directly into the face of power. And I believe that this is why it touched such a nerve in our nation. We know truth when we hear it, all of us. It doesn't matter your religious faith or not religious faith. We know truth when we hear it. We witnessed firsthand Spirit-led social action. We witnessed a playbook on how we as a people of faith, we as spiritual beings here during this time on this planet, can move forward in this era that we have found ourselves in. She reminded me how much courage it takes to speak loving truth to power, how deeply vulnerable that really is, and how incredibly effective it is as well. The word courage comes from the Latin cor, which means heart. So the whole concept of courage is essentially directly linked to the strength at the center of us. True courage requires that we engage our heart, or that place where love within us lives. True courage, not performative behavior, but true courage, as we saw from Bishop Buddy, is necessary for the change I know we all wish to see. After she spoke so courageously, clearly from her heart, she created the safety, the spaciousness, and the permission for others to agree with her and speak up, and they did. There were those who were deeply uncomfortable with it. Did it touch a nerve, maybe? Again, we know truth when we hear it. The author and artist, Marianne Radmacher, wrote, "Courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes courage is the quiet voice at the end of the day saying, 'I will try again tomorrow.' Sometimes courage is the quiet voice at the end of the day saying, 'I will try tomorrow.'" So my question for you this week is, what can you do to step into your authentic courage, the courage that comes from the heart? Where can you lovingly speak truth to power in your own life, even if it is to yourself? I want to bring some clear perspective and spiritual truth about the week we just had, because my talk title is How to Speak Loving Truth to Power and Live Our Inclusive Faith. So that second part, how do we live our inclusive faith in the midst of all of this? There was an executive order for mass deportations of innocent people who came here in search of a safer, better life for themselves and their family. That happened this week. The spiritual response and loving truth can be found in the Hebrew Bible, where it says, when a foreigner resides among you in your land, do not mistreat them. The foreigner residing among you must be treated as your native born. Love them as yourself. This week, there was an executive order that the U.S. will now only officially recognize 2 genders. It is laughable. It is laughable. The spiritual response and the loving truth comes from centuries, and in some cases, millennia. This is why it is laughable. Of cultures across time that honor multiple genders and all their expressions. In ancient Mesopotamian culture, there were clear references to non-binary individuals who incidentally often held very specific roles in religious and ceremonial context. They were raised as being spiritual beings. The Hijra in India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh, the Mushe in Mexico, the Bugis in Indonesia, the Fa'afafina in Samoa, the Two-Spirit in indigenous cultures of North America, the Mahu from the indigenous Hawaiian culture, the Bakla from the Philippines, the Katoi in Thailand, the sister girls and brother boys from indigenous Australian cultures. Even Plato himself in ancient Greece explored the concepts of gender fluidity and had philosophical conversations as such. This week, an executive order to dismantle our civil rights policies that began in the 1960s to guarantee that opportunity was not denied due to one's race, gender, sexual orientation, gender identity, or disability. The United States was also removed from the World Health Organization and once again from the Paris Accord. What is the spiritual response and loving truth to this? There are more than I can count. We will never give up. There are more than I can count. From the ancient Hindu scripture in the Bhagavad Gita, it says, I am equally present in all beings. From Sikhism in the Guru Granth Sahib, it says, all beings and creatures are divine. God belongs to all. This is ancient wisdom. From the Baha'i faith, it says, the unity of humanity is the primary teaching, and the unity of humanity must be achieved. From the Christian tradition, Jesus says, love one another as I have loved you. And from New Thought, Ernest Holmes wrote, the highest form of love is to love without condition. And the greatest freedom is to express your true self without fear. Okay, Susie. So, the second spiritual principle I want to bring to us today is balance. Remembering to bring balance to all that we are experiencing. So while this was a painful week in so many ways, I want you to know there was also joy. We must bring balance into this, or we're not gonna do very well. So in addition to all those things that happened this week, guess what? Guess what? Thailand became the first place in Southeast Asia to legalize gay marriage. Thailand. The data is in. We learned that for the very first time in the EU, in the year 2024, solar power surpassed coal as a source of energy and became the EU's fastest growing power source, helping overall fossil fuel power to drop to historic lows in that country. This is incredible news for all of us. Hello, the fires we just had in Los Angeles. This is good. This is balanced. You see the balance? And I read this week, speaking of the fires in Los Angeles, a place very dear to my own heart. I was just in Pasadena at Christmas. In the Eaton fire in in Altadena, everything was on fire. And a group of off-duty bus drivers ran and got their buses and drove into the flames, into the fire, towards the fire, into the smoke. And they rescued over 500 seniors from a senior center there. Good, good, good people. Do you see? Do you see what I'm doing here? We have to name what's happening. We cannot bury our heads in the sand. At the same time, we can celebrate the good and the goodness. I know with everything that I am, there is more good in this world than not. That is the spiritual truth. Yes, amen, yes. And let us know that together. Are you with me? So while all this is happening, to create that balance within us, to allow the terra firma, the ground that we walk on, to be steady, please, please, please affirm the good, look for the good, see the good. That is a powerful spiritual practice. The New Thought teacher to so many of us, Louise Hay, wrote, "When we create harmony in our minds and hearts, we will find it in our lives. The inner creates the outer." When we create harmony in our minds and in our hearts, we will find it in our lives. The inner creates the outer. Again, it doesn't mean that we do not pay attention to what's happening. It means that we balance it, that we affirm and know that there is greater good than this. When we are in balance, we can better live our faith in the world because we're less stressed, we're less wound up, our edges are softer. When we are more equipped, we are able to respond as opposed to react. And when we are able to respond as opposed to reacting to everything that is happening, and it is a lot, when we are better able to respond, we can respond with love, and therefore we can participate in the peace process in the world right now. So I ask you, in order to participate in the peace process right now, what area of your own life can you bring more balance and more harmony? Consider this week even one action that you can take to create more balance in your life. What might that be for you? In the Chinese language, the ideogram for crisis also means opportunity. Talk about ancient wisdom. We have an opportunity in the midst of all of this to dig even more deeply into our spiritual teaching, to become even more clear about the divine in our life and the good in the world. In order to be the change we wish to see in the world, it behooves us to get really clear. Really clear. And I know because many of you are sharing with me, and thank you for giving me that honor, your fears about what's happening right now, your worries, your concerns, your feelings, the emotions that are coming up. And I'm right here with you. I'm right here with you. The good thing is that in spiritual community, this is the place where we gather to share and explore these things in a safe and nurturing way. As Helen read in the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful piece that began this service, we are going to need to lean into community right now. I know I am going to need to lean into this community. And so if you are here, bless you, if you are here in the sanctuary, you will notice in front of you or somewhere next to you, there are these index cards, like right in front of you, and a pen. And if you don't have one there, would you like one? Here you go. Dan, right here. Daniel and Ellie, and we'll get one for Billy. You're good, Billy? All right. If you need one, raise your hand, and our ushers are going to bring those by. Thank you so much. We've got some over here. Thank you. For those of you at home, this would be the time to take out that piece of paper and pen, or you can go to your computer or your laptop, or you may even type this right into the chat box. That's fine too. Does everybody have a writing implement? Okay, and raise your hand. We're good? Everybody's good? Great. Those of you at home, I trust you have what you need as well. One of the practices we have here, something that helps me a lot when I need to bring myself into balance, is to journal. I find that if I can write down my concerns, my fears, my worries, my feelings about anything, and if I can ask a question, maybe the question that is on my heart, it helps. It helps to dislodge any feelings of stuckness. So we're going to do a mini version of that, and this is going to serve a dual purpose. So I'm going to invite you now to, maybe, Brian, you could come up if you'd be so kind, play a little music for us that you do so beautifully. I want you to, and those of you at home, we're going to take a few minutes, and I'd like you to journal on one side of your card just how you're feeling, any emotions you may be having, and for those of you at home, maybe that's on one side of your paper. What are your feelings? What are your emotions? And on the other side of the paper, I'm going to invite you to please write a question. Or you might have more than one question. What question around anything that I've just spoken of is on your heart, is on your mind? What question do you have? Maybe about how we're going to move forward. Whatever it is, I'd like you to get it down on paper. Your feelings, and then any question that you might have. Let's just do that for now. Your feelings and your questions. What is on your heart right now? Those of you at home, you can write that or type it in. And please know your question can be about anything. It's not limited. Any question that's on your heart. And you don't have to put your name on it. I don't expect you to, unless you want to. For those of you here in the room, when you are complete, I invite you just to turn within so that I know you're done. And just keep it in your lap or next to you. Be another minute or two. And just turn within. Nice, deep, easy, nourishing breaths. another minute or so. All right. Thank you, Brian. A little bit later, when we pass the basket, I'm going to ask that you place your card in the basket. Those of you online, if you wrote, you can take a picture of it, and I invite you to email that picture to office@newthoughtcsl.org, or you can certainly email your feelings, what's coming up for you, and your questions to office@newthoughtcsl.org. The reason I'm asking you to do this is next Sunday, we're going to have a very special service because I want us in this community to feel the unity and to have our questions answered, to have our feelings and emotions spoken into this space. And so next Sunday, our ministerial intern practitioner, Shelley Walker, and I will have our conversation. I'm going to be looking at all of these responses throughout the week, and I'm going to sort of solidify them so that we can have the proper time to talk together. Does that sound good? Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do with this. So hang on to those for now, and we'll use them later. And I certainly will not, if you did put your name on it, I will not share that. You know, I wake up very, very early on Sunday mornings. The one day in the week I do this. I wake up before the sun comes up. And this morning I was outside with my cup of tea. And it was chilly and the air was crisp. It was beautiful. And I looked up and I saw the moon. But it was just a sliver. Is it the waning crescent phase? A sliver of moon. And it stopped me. It was so beautiful. It was gold, sort of in color, but it was just barely there. And I thought to myself, what is our world going to be when that's a full moon? What can our community be when that moon is full? Who will I be when that moon is full? We are always at choice. Mother Nature teaches us this, that we always have the ability to release the old, to step into the new. That new moon, they used to call it, and some people still do, call that waning crescent moon the old moon. So what is our new moon going to look like? The new moon within you. I invite you to create it from the place of courage and heart and balance and harmony and spiritual truth. Bless you, Catherine. And spiritual truth. We can always move into the fullness and the newness that awaits us. This is true of our world. Just like Bishop Buddy reminded us this week, we can create change in our world that brings new, authentic spirituality and grounded, healing conversations. So this week, I invite you to consider what you can do to step into your authentic courage. Where can you lovingly speak truth to power in your own life, even if it is to yourself? And what area of your life can you bring more balance and more harmony? Consider that this week. Even if you just take one action that will bring more balance into your life, do that. Do that. And finally, what old moon part of you is wanting to grow into something more full? What old moon part of you is wanting to come out and play in the midst of all of this, to experience joy in the midst of all of this, and to affirm the good in the midst of all of this. I invite you to consider that this week. Let's pray. I invite the practitioners to come forward and help anchor this prayer with me. And online, just know that our practitioner hosts are moving into prayer with me as well. Let us take a deep, easy breath with a full exhale, recognizing fully that that breath is the breath of grace. It's the breath of God or spirit or source or universe, whatever word you're comfortable with. That breath you breathe is holy, and it is here for us. It anchors us in this life, in this time that we are in. That breath gives us courage and strength to turn towards the courage that lives within our heart, the love within the center of our being, and to do the next right thing that is before us. And so in this next breath, I affirm that the same love and grace and courage and blessing surrounds our loved ones, our friends, our family, our friends who are family. I know that this same love has the grace and the power to heal all the hurting places, the places in the world that are navigating war and challenge and difficulty and pain. And these executive orders, I know that love will have the final word, that love wins, and that it is within every one of these situations. It is in there. It is the most true thing about us, this love, this grace, this divinity, this power to heal, to forgive, and to move forward in courage. And so this day I bless all people who gather all week in churches and mosques and synagogues and ashrams and temples and centers for spiritual living and planning meetings and yoga mats and hikes and kitchen tables, knowing each one of us is a member of this human family, and we are here to be in this together, and we belong, every one of us, we belong together. So from this place of unity and grace and gratitude, of courage, of balance, and of a full moon beingness of joy and good, I give thanks for this. I give thanks for this answered prayer. I allow it to be, and I know it is becoming in this breath. I rest in this truth. With great gratitude, I let it be, and so it is. Blessed be. Amen. Oh, I love you so much. I love you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So this is our opportunity to pay it forward. This is where we get to practice the spiritual principle of conscious giving. We only exist here because of what you give. And so please know that. And no gift is too small, too large. Thank you so much for what you give. Thank you to those of you who pledge so that we can plan on what we give. And if you are not yet a pledger, oh my goodness, you can just go online and sign up there and do that. And that would help us out. But thank you. There's so many ways to give. You can text to give. It's on the screen. I know those of you who mail in your gift, thank you. You can give online, thank you. All the ways. We've got the QR code. We accept your generosity, and we are so grateful for it. So with that, let us say our blessing. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper. It does good work in the world and returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is. Thank you.
Please stand and join us as you're able. Well, I've been staring at the world, waiting. I've been looking for a change lately. All the trouble, all the pain we're facing. Someone's gotta be the hope and someone's gotta be the love. Too much light to be living in the dark. Where are we going? We ain't getting very far. And why waste time? We only got one life. And don't you know it starts today? And you know it's not too late. It begins with you and I. Together we can be the change. So go and let your heart burn bright. Watching cash like a wildfire. It believes in you and I. Together we can be the change. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. Together we can be the change. So many hearts around the world breaking. If I only got one chance, I'll take it. Let my voice be the trumpet that can save it. Someone's gotta be the hope and someone's gotta be the love. Too much light to be living in the dark. Where are we going? We ain't getting very far. Why waste time? We only got one life. Don't you know it starts today? And you know it's not too late. It begins with you and I. Together we can be the change. So then let your heart burn bright. Let it catch like a wildfire. It believes in you and I. Together we can be the change. Whoa. Together we can be the change. Facing one chance, we gotta take it. Stand together and change it. We can make the world right. Turn on all the lights. Face it. One chance, we gotta take it. Stand together and change it. We can make the world right. Turn on all the lights. We can be the change. Don't you know it starts today? And you know it's not too late. It begins with you and I. Together we can be the change. So go and let your heart burn bright. Let it catch like a wildfire. I believe in you and I. Together we can be the change. Whoa. Together we can be the change.
Yes. Thank you, Brian and Darcy and the New Thought Messengers. A few announcements. Great news. NTCSL is having yet another baby. This time it is the baby of Melanie McCarthy, our Director of Youth and Family Program. Melanie will be going on maternity leave soon, and so we're asking if any of you, our dearly beloveds here, are interested in stepping in and supporting our children and joining the youth and family team. This is a paid position. Love of working with children and experience in the field, and time spent in our teaching is a requirement. As always, we do background checks with everyone working with our youth. If you're interested, please email the office@newthoughtcsl.org. For local folks in the area, we're partnering with American Red Cross and sponsoring a life-giving blood drive here at the center on Wednesday, February 5th from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Please join us in giving blood for this worthy cause. You will need to make an appointment. Please go to our website or for the link or email Carolyn for assistance at office@newthoughtcsl.org. Are you interested in joining a spiritual growth circle? These are circles of 8 to 10 people who gather online weekly to deepen their understanding of our New Thought teaching in a small group setting. The focus is on spiritual principles taught the previous Sunday morning service. It's a great way to meet new people and anchor oneself even more deeply in our teaching. We have a few openings in some of our circles, and once they're filled, you can get on a waiting list and we'll let you know when spaces become available. Register now on our website, newthoughtcsl.org, or sign up at the welcome table upstairs and in Community Hall.
Thank you so much, Doug. I appreciate that. Speaking of appreciation, I want to say thank you to all of you who are here with us today. You literally co-created this service with me and Brian and Doug and Helen, all of us together, and those online. Thank you so much for that. And thank you, those of you who are joining us online here at this moment in real time. We have beloveds online joining us from Washington, all over Oregon, California, Nebraska, Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona, and Germany. We love you, we love you, we love you, we love you. And I know there are those of you who are joining from other places. Maybe you're watching on your TVs, and so you can't type it in on the screens. But I just want to thank you so much as well. Also, thank you again to practitioners Annette Nelson and Beth Doyle for holding space and being the online moderators. It's just a beautiful gift. Speaking of gift, beloved practitioners, I invite you to come down to the front. They are going to be available for prayer for you after service. And those of you online, please know that your practitioners there will also be available in a private breakout room to pray with you. So if there is anything on your heart, please don't leave without having them pray you up and remind you of the good and the gold and the God and the love that is right here. It's such a gift. I want to invite all of you here in person to join us downstairs in our community hall for coffee, tea, nosh, and chatting, good conversation. We also have such a beautiful gift shop down there. I will be in the hallway, and I would love to say hello to you. Also, again, if you are new, our welcome team table there, our welcome team members today are Laura Schlafly and Billy Keith. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for serving in that way. Please stand as you are able for our final blessing. I'm going to invite practitioners Helen and Doug to do this with me. And again, you're invited to a very special service next Sunday. That might be a really nice service to invite maybe any friends you have that are on the fence about anything churchy, because it's going to be very different. We're going to have a conversation and really dig deep together into spiritual principles. So I invite you back for that. So with that, may you go in the light, as the light, and with the light until we meet again. May the longtime sun shine upon you. All love surround you. Come here and guide you on your way. You are so loved. I love you. Mwah. Have a good week.
I release, I let go, let the spirit of my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.